tonight. We saw she was given a special security escort to Court 6 last night. There were thousands of Filipinos who tried to get a glimpse of the star on Court 6. Hundreds didn't manage to get in. They were, in fact, quite rowdy at times, told to be quiet.
Alex Eala, the Filipino tennis sensation, just received a personal invitation from Australia's president to return to Melbourne for a special exhibition match. This isn't your typical tennis event. It's a powerful declaration about respect, popularity, and the voice of the people. When Eala competed at the Australian Open, something remarkable unfolded. Tens of thousands of Filipino supporters descended on Melbourne to witness their tennis icon in action. The atmosphere was electrifying, with fans waving flags, chanting her name, and generating an energy that Melbourne seldom experiences. However, a significant problem emerged. The venue reached full capacity, forcing thousands of passionate Eala supporters to remain outside, unable to see their champion compete. Now we arrive at an unprecedented moment. Australia's president, recognizing what transpired during the Australian Open and understanding Eala's extraordinary appeal, took personal action. He issued a direct invitation for Eala to return for an exhibition match before her upcoming tournament. This decision came straight from the president himself, not from WTA officials or tournament organizers. He intervened specifically to give the people what they desperately wanted, an opportunity to experience Alex Eala's magic on court.
Last time we saw the record broken for the first Tuesday, set at about 58,000 back in 2020. That has now been broken today, set at about 61,000. So as you can see, just another ripper start to the Australian Open.
The response was nothing short of phenomenal. Thousands upon thousands of Eala's devoted followers marched through Melbourne streets, hoping to catch even a glimpse of their tennis hero. The excitement was absolutely palpable, the atmosphere charged with anticipation. Yet despite maximum efforts to accommodate the massive crowds, the stadium filled to capacity again, leaving thousands more outside. The hunger to watch Alex Eala play tennis is genuinely that colossal. Given the enormous crowds, Australian authorities provided government-level security to escort Eala safely to the venue. They weren't taking any risks with such unprecedented numbers. When she finally appeared on that court, she absolutely delivered. The crowd erupted. The energy was off the charts, and Alex Eala gave everyone exactly what they came for: spectacular tennis combined with that radiant smile that's won hearts globally. Now here's where controversy enters the picture. Aryna Sabalenka, currently holding the #1 WTA ranking, is allegedly displeased with this entire scenario. Australia's president arranged a dedicated exhibition match for Alex Eala, providing presidential recognition and state-level security protection. Meanwhile, Sabalenka, despite occupying the top world ranking, hasn't been granted comparable treatment. Let's establish something crucial. Aryna Sabalenka is a phenomenal tennis athlete. Her #1 ranking reflects tremendous dedication, relentless work, and exceptional court performance. She absolutely merits respect and acknowledgement for everything she's accomplished. But what's unfolding with Alex Eala represents something entirely different. This transcends rankings entirely. It's about genuine connection. It's about the deep love and fierce passion fans harbor for someone who embodies their aspirations and identity. Alex Eala hasn't cracked the top 10 yet. She's currently positioned at 40th on the WTA rankings, which actually represents 9 places higher than her standing during the Australian Open. Rankings alone don't capture the complete picture. What distinguishes Alex Eala is the extraordinary relationship she's cultivated with her supporters, especially the Filipino community, which is both enormous and intensely devoted to their national tennis champion.
She's got a lot of global stardom to her. She's had some incredible results and she's beaten players like Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek, so she's the real deal, already top 50 in the world.
Alex Eala is navigating this entire whirlwind with remarkable grace and genuine humility. She's conveyed nothing except deep appreciation for the overwhelming affection she encounters wherever she travels. She recognizes this extends far beyond personal achievement. She's bearing the aspirations of an entire nation, representing millions of Filipinos worldwide who recognize something truly special in her, something worth passionately celebrating. Now let's examine what actually prompted this presidential action. Novak Djokovic, among tennis's all-time legends, publicly criticized the WTA for their poor handling of Alex Eala throughout the Australian Open. According to Djokovic, the WTA committed a massive error by assigning Eala to minor courts despite her tremendous popularity and the thousands who traveled specifically to witness her compete. Djokovic stated explicitly that Alex Eala stands as the Philippines' greatest tennis player ever produced and deserves complete respect. However, according to Novak, the WTA isn't providing that respect. They're failing to treat her appropriately. Djokovic pushed even harder, suggesting this inadequate management might have actually contributed to her first-round Australian Open elimination.
Things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's Alex Eala. That's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country. And
Consider what Djokovic is fundamentally arguing here. He's asserting that competitive environment profoundly impacts performance. Court dimensions, crowd atmosphere, spectator energy, illumination, surface characteristics, these elements all influence how a player performs, particularly during high-stakes Grand Slam pressure. When you place someone who attracts thousands onto a cramped court where most supporters can't enter to encourage her, you're actively undermining her chances. Djokovic's critique clearly struck a chord. It sparked widespread discussion. It made people question why the WTA would mishandle one of their most beloved players so badly. And evidently, it captured Australia's president's attention too. Observing the widespread disappointment among Eala's followers after the Australian Open, witnessing thousands of dejected people who journeyed from everywhere just to support their champion, Australia's president chose direct intervention. He brought Eala back to Australia, organized this dedicated exhibition match, and ensured she received the proper platform to perform for her supporters as she rightfully deserves. Yet here's what's truly extraordinary. Even with specially arranged circumstances, even with presidential support, the venue still couldn't hold all of Eala's fans. Thousands remained outside again. This demonstrates just how rapidly Alex Eala's popularity is exploding. We're witnessing fan devotion rarely seen in tennis, transcending rankings and results entirely. This represents the kind of appeal that transforms athletes into worldwide icons. This is the connection that elevates someone beyond mere competitor status. Alex Eala is evolving into a symbol, embodying Filipino pride and global excellence. That's something WTA rankings simply cannot quantify. Since the Australian Open, Eala's been training intensely, refining her skills and ascending the rankings. Jumping from outside the top 50 to 41st represents meaningful advancement, proving she's not merely popular, she's genuinely developing into a formidable WTA Tour competitor. But this entire situation truly exposes a fundamental gap between WTA player management philosophy and actual fan desires. The WTA functions through ranking and seeding systems, which makes competitive sense. However, when you have someone drawing crowds like Alex Eala does, when you have someone capable of filling stadiums and generating excitement that elevates the entire sport, perhaps some flexibility regarding player treatment becomes necessary. Australia's president clearly grasps this reality. He recognized an opportunity to bring joy to thousands, celebrate an emerging star, and demonstrate respect towards someone who's earned it through fan connection. That Aryna Sabalenka might feel unhappy about this is comprehensible from her viewpoint, yet it fundamentally misses the larger point. This isn't about diminishing Sabalenka's accomplishments whatsoever. This concerns recognizing that tennis ultimately exists for supporters, and when fans speak this emphatically, it demands attention. Alex Eala's journey is only beginning. Ranked 40th globally and rising, possessing fan support most players never experience, and having legends like Novak Djokovic championing her fair treatment, her future appears incredibly promising. Australia's president's decision to welcome her back to Melbourne exceeds simple kindness. It acknowledges something extraordinary is emerging here, and that Alex Eala deserves celebration, not solely for current ranking, but for what she represents and what she's becoming. This marks a transformative tennis chapter, where popularity, connection, and cultural impact matter equally alongside rankings, and Alex Eala is authoring that chapter with every single match she plays.